Good evening. I feel like a professor today. Good evening and everything. So I can't see the most of you all. Yeah. So hi guys. So I've been a very delusional person. Yeah. So when I was young, starting off, so I used to pretend like there were a few cameras around me and there was an interviewer, and I'd be like, yeah guys, I struggled throughout my journey, and today I'm standing here and giving a talk. So I can say, can I please also have the slide thing? So coming from that background where you are very delusional, where you're giving imaginary interviews, imaginary talks, so I can say Delulu is the Solulu. So yeah, so it feels like a great journey that I'm here, and thank you so much. Thanks a lot, sir, the principal, so thank you for having me, and thanks for the TEDx team for having me. My name is Karen Vincent, and I'm a content creator, a former recruiter. I worked in the tech space, so I used to recruit a lot of tech talents. I'm a recruiter, ex-recruiter, and I'm now following my passion of creating content, of making it big on social media. And I'm a passionate, enthusiastic learner. I'm really enjoying learning, so that's a little about me. So that's Karen Vincent for you. But this journey all started at a convent school, all right? Yeah, this is a pictorial representation of how all convent schools look on the whole. Yeah. If you're from a convent school, it looks as bad as that. So I'm from a convent background, yeah. So if you're from a convent background, to make it even worse, I'm from an all-girls background. I am from this background where I come from a convent school, so we didn't have like a lot of exposure towards, cultural stuffs and everything. Like, for example, now you're holding a TEDx talk, or if you have any competitions, I did not get the opportunity to really showcase who I am. And I would like to call myself academically challenged. So I couldn't study. I'm not good at academics. I was being conditionally promoted from 5th standard. So the teachers were really fed up, man. They had so many talks from my parents saying that, hey, what is your daughter actually trying to do these days, man? So my parents were really scared. So I was somehow passed through all the subjects, and here I am. But the thing is, I was more than academically inclined, I was more culturally inclined, like all these competitions and everything. I know that I could create content. I know I could make people laugh. So I'm a people person. So I really like talking to people, interacting with people. So that's a background that I came from. So from convent school. And convent schools, unfortunately, if you are not talented, if you are a people person or anything, you are talented if you know dancing, singing, and fireless cooking, according to my school.
I used to be a big person who used to stammer. So I stammered through every sentence. I stuttered through every sentence. At least now I'm better from where I've come from. But when I was back there in school, I couldn't speak very well. My English was really bad. So, and the fear of what people will talk about me, the fear of making a mistake really made me very anxious. So that was my convent school journey. So I made up a decision and told myself, Karen, you know what, you're going to transform yourself. See, we are at 10th. So 10th, these things are not happening at school, and then 10th and everything. So I told myself, I really need to change who I am. So I need to put a conscious effort, because this is not happening. Looks-wise, not happening. Personality-wise, it's not happening. So I was like, you know what, I'll put in the effort.
Mostly I used to watch MasterChef. Yeah, I loved it. So MasterChef never really describes the food. Yeah, they have their own way of saying stuff. For example, you and I would say, hey, yeah, food is great, it's nice. Only people from MasterChef will be like, it's a symphony in the mouth. It's a blast of flavor. So I watched a lot of MasterChef. I used to have my note, and I had my phone, so I used to take down words that really made some kind of a meaning, so where I could use it in a sentence. So that's when my speech got better. I could be a little confident than I was in school. So that was my school, and yeah, that was me panicking in front of people. So when you have this inferiority complex, let's say you're not very confident about your looks. You're not very confident because people have this set standard of beauty, right? So I think all of us have gone through it at one point in our time where you don't feel confident enough, where you don't feel, I'm not as good as the other person there. So I really suffered with that because I really didn't look that great. I look good now, but that's a different story. But so my mom used to give me a Dora haircut. So just Just imagine walking to school with a Dora haircut. Not at all good, not at all pleasing. So that was me in school. So yeah, I developed this a major inferiority complex, guys. A complex that's so bad that I really didn't want to go out to the public. So I used to go to tuitions. I used to tell my mom, I really don't want to go like to tuitions. I don't want to interact with people, especially you're coming from an all-girls school and you don't know how to talk to boys. So, and you know, boys are pretty confident. Yeah, you can tell that. So boys are pretty confident. They can voice out whatever comes to their head. But I used to be that coy and the shy person because I really don't know who I was. Because in my head, a person who's talented is someone who does academically well, not a person who does better at other things. So this got like a lot of anxiety, and I created a very bad environment for myself. So it was very difficult, you know, coming from school. So that's when I made that conscious effort, and I started like practicing and learning how to be a different person. And that's made me who I am. So this is the anxiety and the public speaking phase where I'm really scared to talk to people. Thankfully, I really pray that you all find very good friends, because good friends support you to make decisions that you're not ready to. So my friends started giving my names to competitions which I didn't know existed. So they started giving me, they started pushing me, and that's when I started going to competitions, and I got that confidence. Like, okay, fine, and you know, I'm doing something out there. Stand-up comedy is working for me, and I could win like a couple of competitions, and that put a self-confidence inside me. So this is the college phase of mine, but you still have that, you know, that trauma where you were bullied through school a little because of your weight or because of the way you looked. So that was always inside me. So, but I really never took it up. I always believe consistency is key. So even today in my social media, consistency is always key. So I said, you know what, whatever the competitions, let me just keep doing me. Karen, you keep doing you. So that was the motto for me to follow. So that's when, you know, college started to look a little bright in my life. I had a little fun. I got to know that academics is not everything, and people have different talent. Some people can sing, some people can dance. Some people can do fireless cooking, and some people can do different things, and it's all a talent. And that's when I got to know, okay, yeah, talented people exist, you know, people without an academic, cushion to lie on. So that was that. Going back there, we come to a phase called personality. There's this competition in college, so it's called personality. All right, so I'll tell you a little about personality. Personality is a competition, a friendly competition where they break your self-esteem. All right, so this is a competition. It's a well-known competition throughout, you know, colleges. So if you win this competition, and you know, you're a big deal, man. So you're considered, okay, this girl can do something in life. So I was like, hey, this sounds interesting. So I was like, let me do it, because see, the looks don't work, the personality definitely will. Yeah. So I was like, let me do this, let me try personality. So personality has 3 rounds: your introduction round, your talent round, and finally the round where you will have to sustain, because people will tell as to why you don't deserve to win the show, and you will have to like, navigate your way through it. You will have to defend yourself on why you deserve to win it. So in the last round, guys, there was this, it was plain roasting round. So basically, people break your self-confidence there. And imagine for a person who doesn't have self-confidence, jokes on you. So, I was like, okay, come at me, boys. And I was like, and it was, and you know, coming from an all-girls school, standing there in a male-dominated kind of an environment, because girls, again, we were pushed to do some things, but when you qualify and go to the last round and you're the only girl and all the boys standing there and huge, tall, handsome, good looking, and I was like, I can come up with adjectives. So they were so good. And I was like, wow, okay, I'm competing with them. And then you get there and people really put you down, you know, for the title, and they say, okay, they say stuff about your color, some things about your weight, some things that you're very insecure about. And coming from a person like, as I said, during my childhood, so that phase in my life where I couldn't go outside, I told my mom, I really don't want to go outside, please, I just want to stay indoors. So again, that started coming back to me, where I felt very, very, very insecure on the way I looked. Again, the stuttering started coming back a little. So yes, that was me. And I remember the competition was done, okay, and I was roasted terribly on stage. So much spoken about my color, so much spoken about my weight, so many things about myself which I didn't notice in the first place. I was like, really? There were so many things about me. And so I was so broken that day. So I go home. When I go home, I start crying profusely. I sit down, I just start crying. And when I say I cried, I mean I cried. I literally cried. A representation of me crying on the floor, rolling on the floor. Yeah, every position I've tried it. So that's me crying. So just imagine my face through all those beads up there. So that is me. So, okay, so you may be wondering what this lady looks like. This is like my anxiety, man, okay. So basically, my anxiety is like a milkshake in a mixie, like banana milkshake in a mixie, but the lid is open. So it's just all over the place. Coming out here to speak, my body goes through a lot. Like when, especially if you're not a confident public speaker, and if you're suffering with anxiety, there's a lot of things your body does to you. Sometimes you won't be able to breathe properly, and sometimes your hands would start to sweat, and your legs would start to shake. So if Michael Jackson was here, he would be jealous of me, because my body was moving greatly, at a very wrong time. So before going out on stage, my body used to like not cooperate with me. But then I kept telling myself, Karen, you have to make it, man. Like, I don't want to be, one thing I never want to be labeled as that person, that shy person who couldn't like really live up to a potential. I really didn't want to be known as that academically blessed kid or whatever. I don't want to be known as that. I want to really venture out into who I truly am. I'm funny, I can make people laugh. I'm a people person, as I mentioned before, and I really wanted to showcase that. And for me to showcase that, I'll have to start getting uncomfortable. So that is making me, so putting myself in different places. Like, I used to forget my lines. I used to stutter again. The stuttering and stammering started to come. And I used to get so scared, super scared, because in stand-up comedy, the delivery is very important. The content is important as well as the delivery. So imagine the content is good and the delivery is like you're stuttering and stammering. It doesn't look that great. So I'll have to like prep myself. So my anxiety was all over the place, and for me to get better at it, you have to start getting uncomfortable. So whatever you want to do in life right now, so let it be anything, you have to put yourself in uncomfortable places. You will have to start practicing, and that's a very tough place to be in, because you're going through, but at the same time you're nurturing your skills. So at the same time, my anxiety was like, I was really bringing my anxiety under control. I was like learning how to train myself, and I was learning how to handle my anxiety. There's a way you can handle your anxiety. So you will have to learn that only if you know yourself, only if you put yourself in different places in life, only if you make yourself uncomfortable. So that was about me participating in competitions and learning to pull myself together. So yeah, that happened. Actually, after two years, I think, from lockdown, 3 years now. So after like a lot of persistence and after like pushing myself through, because you have exams going on as well. But lucky me, we had online exams, so I really didn't have to care. So I was like, let me do this. So I started creating content, and then started picking up. It reached from a 10K, 20K, 30K, and it started growing like that. Today, I think it's at 125K. Today, we have grown up as a following brand. So thank you. Yeah, this is real, guys. You can confidently clap. Last time you guys confidently, kidding. So I actually reached 100K on the 14th of August. I got fed up because I was not reaching my ultimate potential. I really like to put certain content, but I was scared, what will they think of me? I'm in the human resources. I have to be disciplined. And there's this perception I had of me and where I had to fit in. And it really didn't work for me. So I told myself, Karen, you know what? You are not going to care anymore. This is the final. You're not going to care. So I went into my I don't care era. So I started posting content. I did whatever I like. So I started posting content. I started collaborating with influencers. I started collaborating with content creators, and that's when we hit the 100K mark. So, and that's when my video actually reached 10 million, and we were trending #1 on YouTube for an interview that I went for. So all these things are happening. I'm garnering followers, and it feels great to even be standing here as a content creator, to call myself the two little words, content creator. So reached 100K on Instagram, calling myself a content creator, and overall I feel very blessed. And for a person who couldn't speak, and I said I stuttered a lot, I was not academically good. In my college, which I graduated last year, so I got the best public speaker award from my college. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thanks. And also, when I said I was academically challenged, so I kept participating in a lot of competitions and I won all of them. So I used to participate and I used to balance my academics. My academics were not that great, but I was able to balance that. So because of that, because of a great balance between your academics and co-curriculars, I was awarded Best Outstanding Student of the Year 2022 from my college again. So that was a great turning point in my life. Thank you so much. So I think I've come a long way in terms of like creating content, in terms of like establishing a name in the student community, in the festing community, and also in terms of like making a mark somewhere in school and college. So I believe that everyone can, as long as you believe in yourself, as long as you're able to manage whatever you're going through. Everyone has demons, but we'll have to learn how to control them, how to tame them. So my mantra was always to like, personally, I was able to come out of it by having a few verses. So there were a few biblical verses. So I used to keep telling them and I used to like keep calming myself down. So one side for me, that was a great escape for me. So I was able to control that. There was a verse from the Bible. It goes like, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So that's a beautiful verse in the Bible. So I know I can't do it. So I always tell I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So I think that has like really helped me, suppress all my anxiety and also bring me to this point. So yes, guys, so this is my story and this is me, Karen, as content creator. So thank you so much for listening to me and I hope you were inspired by what I had to say. So yeah, thank you so much. Thanks a lot.